You just heard the pitch there. Tyson Brazell. His company is called a Personal Style Finder. We are going to introduce our judges right now. David Tisch is here, Boxgroup, FF Ventures, Adam Plotkin, and Amy Wu joining us here. David, I'm going to start with you. What did you think about Personal Style Finder?
Yeah, it's definitely, on trend in that we're taking a labor force and making it more accessible to an end user. My question is, how big is the demand here? And so are there enough customers for this business to get big, or is this a really niche market?
So, Tyson, what is the scalability?
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of demand out there. You see it with a lot of other players kind of entering the space. And just in terms of scalability, there are over 20,000 registered fashion stylists out there today. And if you just do kind of a basic, calculation about market size, you can assume a conservative hourly rate, a conservative utilization rate, and you can pretty quickly get to a $2 to $3 billion market size.
Adam, what's your take?
I have to say I agree with David about this sort of trend here, and I think that you've certainly identified a market with a wide open amount of white space between the very high end, where people are able to have their own personal stylists, and the mass market, where people need advice or closet editing sessions and so on. This is kind of on trend in general as well. I mean, we've seen this in cars, in personal assistant services, and so on, where we're sort of using the internet to share these things and make them more accessible to the mass market. I played with your site a little bit last night. One of the things that I'm concerned about is that it's very clear how much I'm going to have to pay and with whom I'm going to interact, but I'm not entirely clear what exactly I'm going to get for that money. And I think you're going to need to really articulate your value proposition to your customer.
Right. I think our value proposition is we start by thinking about a problem. And to us, the big problem is that women only wear about 15 to 20% of their wardrobe on a regular basis, which means almost 8 out of every $10 you spend shopping is more or less wasted. To us, that's a big problem. What we've found is that women who use personal stylists utilize a much higher percentage of their wardrobe and overall just have a better experience when shopping and looking for clothes.
So, Amy, since professional women are the target, get in there. What's your take?
Yeah, so I may be the only panelist who has actually shopped with a personal shopper before, and it's mostly because I don't really know what style fits me the best, and I don't have as much time to just shop. And so I understand the pain point very much. My question is, how do you propose to keep customer retention? Because, a stylist-customer relationship is very close. They spend a lot of time together, and so after they find the stylist through your site the first time, how do you get them to come back?
Yeah, well, we have a lot of additional functionality which really sort of complements the process. What we want to do is we want to enhance the stylist to customer relationship. And so some things that in the past were a bit annoying, like when you have a closet edit, they'll take photos of new outfits that you could potentially have, and then they email you those photos, and you lose those photos. Through our site, you can just upload those photos, track them in real time, and sort of have an ongoing online as well as offline relationship with your stylist.
Tyson, I think, though, what Amy is saying is, how do you stay in the middle? Because essentially your service is a middleman. So to her point, what's to keep Amy from just reaching out directly to the stylist, cutting you out completely?
Yeah, well, the stylist availability is updated with us 24/7. So if you want to book an appointment with them, you have to call them on the phone today, which is a little bit painful. You leave a message, they could be out of town. So it's just convenience. The same situation with ZocDoc or something like that. It's convenience, but it's also we enhance the relationship by giving all of that extra functionality.
And Tyson, what about the idea that, I don't know, maybe I just like shopping at Saks or Nordstrom or wherever. They have stylists. Why wouldn't I just use that?
They do have stylists, but all their stylists work on commission. So it's a funny story. My mom actually just used a stylist at one of those high-end retailers, and she ended up spending 4 times more than she had originally planned because the stylists are not incentivized to help you work within your budget. They're not incentivized to help you achieve your goals. They're incentivized to get you to spend as much as possible.
So, lightning round, David, based on what you know, would you introduce Tyson to your investment partners?
Unfortunately not. I'm concerned that the brand that you've built initially is just not a brand that's going to scale and resonate. I think the design, the functionality really needs to take a step up in terms of connecting with customers.
Adam.
I think I'd like to learn more. You have the word personal in the name of your company, and I'd like to sort of hear more on how you're going to make it really a personal and special experience for your customers to duplicate some of the experience that people that have their own stylists are able to achieve.
Amy.
Yeah, I would actually try using your service myself, and also see how it differs from one of the more disruptive subscription services like Stitch Fix these days.
Well, thank you very much. David Tisch, Adam Plotkin, Amy Wu joining us there. And our thanks to our founder, Tyson Brazell.